A new Missouri law that just took effect last month is being widely rebuked tonight by law enforcement across the state of Missouri. Supporters tell News 4's investigates it's meant to reinforce support for the Second Amendment, but police say it's incredibly problematic for your safety. And now even Governor Mike Parson, who signed the law, says it needs to be revisited.
Every day you turn on the TV, someone's getting killed.
Byron Michaud has known tragedy too many times.
I got a call, my grandson was laying in the street.
His 15-year-old grandson was gunned down in an apparent attempted robbery a few years ago, and he himself was shot working the family store in North St. Louis.
The one that went right here was the first one. It was piercing my brain. Too many mothers crying, too many kids dying.
Far too many know gun violence runs rampant in St. Louis. That's why Byron says he can't believe a new Missouri law.
What does that do? What does that solve? I don't understand.
That just went into effect last month.
Trying to get the guns off the street, what does that have to do with the Second Amendment? These people are illegally carrying guns and doing illegal stuff. So we need help.
He's referring to the Second Amendment Preservation Act, passed overwhelmingly by the Republican legislature earlier this year and signed by the governor. Governor Mike Parson saying the law, quote, demonstrates our commitment to reject any attempt by the federal government to circumvent the fundamental rights Missourians have to keep and bear arms to protect themselves and their property. Further writing, it, quote, prohibits state and local cooperation with federal officials that attempt to enforce any laws, rules, orders, or actions that violate the Second Amendment rights of Missourians. But while it just seems to champion the Second Amendment on its face, the law has been gaining national attention from outlets like CNN and the New York Times.
The law is so vague and so poorly written.
All because many law enforcement officers really don't like it. The O'Fallon police chief even resigned over it, saying it's designed to harass and penalize police officers. They could face a $50,000 fine each time they cooperate with the feds.
People are going to be able to file frivolous lawsuits against good cops that are out there doing their jobs, trying to protect the good citizens of this community.
The problem is that the law has seriously called into question local and state partnerships with federal agencies like the DEA and ATF, who often work together to curb crime.
The specific attack on the relationship between the federal law enforcement agencies and the local and state is particularly problematic.
Former NYPD officer and college professor Keith Taylor says those partnerships are hugely important. That's why St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and Jackson County have filed suit to fight the law. The Department of Justice even weighing in, saying the law has already done, quote, significant damage to federal law enforcement operations, saying nearly 1/4 of the state and local officers assigned to ATF task forces have already withdrawn. State troopers, too, no longer working with the feds on cases involving guns. And the Columbia, Missouri Police Department stopped participating in the federal ballistics database that has generated over 6,000 leads on crimes in the last 3 years.
And interference with that means that basically the bad guys are going to take advantage of this.
But late last month, a judge upheld the law, and the case is now being appealed to the Missouri Supreme Court. Citing that pending appeal, major metro departments declined to talk on camera to News 4. But other police chiefs around the state aren't being so shy.
And even the criminals now see that our hands are being tied on that, and we can't even work together.
Cape Girardeau Police Chief Wes Blair says despite past federal partnerships helping to solve countless crimes involving guns, they've stopped cooperating with the feds in fear of the law.
We've told them no. We've been asked to go help serve a search warrant just this week, and we've said, no, I'm sorry, we can't.
I'm just afraid that violence is going to increase.
Other officers, too, very concerned that the law has unintended consequences.
There's not an officer around that I know that wants to take anybody's guns away from them. It's just this House bill handcuffs law enforcement.
What do you say to their concerns now at this point? So we took the issue straight to Governor Mike Parson. Remember, he signed the law. He says it was meant more as a message to the Biden administration, but acknowledges something has to change.
We just got to figure out how to move forward on this without causing a problem for the local levels or the federal agencies.
Saying he thinks the legislature will have to address it.
And we'll just have to see whether they're willing to do that and see if we can find some solutions. But I think if there's things out there we can correct.
I think there's some wording issues that just need to be worked out in the end.
Doug Schaeffler, president of the St. Louis Area Police Chiefs Association, says he is hopeful it will get worked out. But in the meantime,
We have told every agency, every chief to work with their city management and their city attorneys to get the guidance from them.
Byron's biggest concern, with guns in the hands of criminals, who will be next?
I know someone's going to be next. Might be me, might be you.
So certainly a lot of moving parts here. There's an ongoing lawsuit at the Supreme Court and possible revision in the legislature. Of course, we will be reaching out to lawmakers and we will let you know what happens.